Mic check 1 2 3 4. Mic check 1 2 3 4 5. Fantastic. I'm just gonna give you all a heads up. There's no camera today. I not feeling the best, and light is really giving me a headache today. So if my photosensitivity is at an all-time high, I'm gonna just stream without the camera and lights today. So just fair warning, you won't be able to see my beautiful face for the remainder of the stream. Vampire stream. Hey Atlam, hey Lord Rev and Anani, how we doing? How's everyone doing today? Good, I hope. It makes me worry when you say it like that, Rev. What are you doing during the stream? Alrighty. Hey, thanks, Law of the Jungle. Yeah, you can remove your reflective glasses because my bald head won't be blinding you the entire stream. Correct, Asmodeus. So welcome back to Mapmaker Monday, our weekly map building stream where we have a theme and I build around that theme. Currently, we are building a massive ancient cemetery. It's taken much longer than I ever anticipated, but this map is insanely huge and full of detail from end to end. Hey, Fatora Bloom, how you doing? Appreciate you dropping into the DA stream. So we're working on this massive cemetery complex, an ancient cemetery that started in this corner right here, which is the entry point. Little pond and hedge and cover and fence, and slowly expanded beyond this, little bit at a time. Fatura, did you get to try out the Battlefield beta? I like to think of this cemetery as, you know, it's been around many centuries, so it's grown over that time, and trends and, you know, things have changed over time, so different areas might be slightly different than others. The area we're working on right now is this large swath, which looks kind of like a pizza. We've been filling it with graves every week as we kind of slowly fill out the template and kind of figure it out as we go. Anyway, let's get back to that. I'm excited because now we're kind of caught up to this whole line, which was kind of slowing us down last week. Thinking let's extend this out a little bit. But let's disable collisions first. That way the objects aren't fighting with me the whole stream. I'm just gonna put a random fence piece here. And the intention of this is to allow me to keep the straight line of the fence as I go. I don't want them kind of slowly overlapping each other, so I will add one in between to kind of keep the template straight. Then I'll delete centerpiece. So there's still a walkway. Back that. Law of the Jungle, that's actually a really great question. And your order of operations for editing a map you've uploaded to the workshop is very important. So because of Steam and how it works, the workshop, you essentially have to upload a map over an existing map. And it's very hard to do that unless DA and the Steam Workshop knows which map you're starting with. So let's just, for argument's sake, say you've uploaded a map to the workshop, right? I'm going to save this map a couple of times. I've actually uploaded a ton of maps to the workshop, as you can see. So I'm going to select one of my maps as an upload that I want to adjust. So I'm going to, first things first, if you want to edit a map that you have on the workshop, you do not edit it locally. If you edit it locally, it's now considered a separate map and you'll have to upload it as a separate map. You want to edit it from the workshop save. So let's say you have a map that you uploaded to the workshop a few weeks back and you want to make some changes to it, right? You would then find the map on the workshop. So in this case, I'm going to edit this map, Belly of the Beast. I'm going to open the map from the workshop. And now that I've opened it from the workshop, you can make edits, right? This map is actually a fun build. I tried to make a map that felt like it was inside of a massive creature. Could be any creature you want, really, but this is like its esophagus, and then its stomach, intestines, all the way down. But let's say I wanted to make some changes here to the stomach. I'm going to add, you know, a token here in the center to show that someone's in here surviving. And then if I was that, let's say that's all the edits I've made. You can make hundreds of edits or just one. And then at this point, you go up to Steam Workshop and it says update published map. So essentially you need to open the map you've uploaded from the workshop, then make your edits, and then update that published map through this tab. Does that make sense? So essentially the very crucial bit of information here, Law of the Jungle, is opening the map from the workshop that you've already uploaded. If you start editing it from your local save, you're already wasting time, and I know that's a pain. It is frustrating that you can't just edit a local save and upload it over the existing one. For right now, the order of operations is open it from the workshop, edit it, update it. Pretty straightforward once you get the hang of it. I typically do not upload maps to the workshop until I feel I'm absolutely done with it. It's kind of my way to avoid that. Because if you start uploading maps and make changes, you may run into instances like this. I do hope we improve that interaction with time where it's better. It's not so convoluted and as many steps. It would be great if you could just take the map as long as it's named the same thing, upload it, and it would be like, oh yeah, this is an updated version. You're good. You're a tinkerer, you're never finished. I feel that. I feel that. I think it's more of a Steam thing than a DA thing, but I could be wrong. The way the Steam architecture works. Of course, of course. You always have the option of backing up your files somewhere else besides the workshop. You have your local saves. The workshop is a great alternative, but you could use, yeah, Dropbox or Google Google Drive to back up your maps. Always a good idea to have more than one copy of your maps anyway. The old mantra, 1 is none, 2 is 1, 3 is 2. You know what I mean? Chim, you're funny. How you doing today, by the way? I'm going to start merging these. You look at them from the side, they have like an overlap pattern where you can kind of overlap them and it looks like one. And I do this because I want these to more end right at the edge of the graves. Tabby, it is 9 a.m. where I'm at. Geez, where are you based? If it's 4 a.m. for you, it's like dams after dark for you. Really? I inspired you to open your sheds, huh? Like RL sheds, like a real shed? Sorry, we always talk about a digital space or like a fantasy world. New Zealand, that's cool. New Zealand's pretty dope. Looks really pretty from like all the video and images I've seen. I'm based in Vegas, so United States, Nevada is where I reside. Like a big desert here. Super hot. But yeah, my day's just getting started while you're up late. That's funny. What time is it in everyone's neck of the woods right now? Let's discuss that. Happy time zones, everyone. Let's talk about your time zone. Well, Chim, I'm glad I'm inspiring you. My taking the time to actually clean up my life and organize it for the first time in years is inspiring people. I appreciate that. Uh-oh. Those are too spaced apart. Don't like it. Put them closer together. Maybe we can. 1814. That means what? 4:14 p.m. on a 12-hour clock, right? Oh, see, I don't know. I honestly, so in the US, you grow up not learning a 24-hour clock, right? Unless like you're in the military or something. So for me, that's like such a foreign thing. It's like learning another language. Yeah, we're weird like that. We also measure our lengths in foot sizes, and I actually prefer to measure things in eagle feathers and bullets. So a little unconventional, but But the world should adapt to me. Oh man, that kills. Uh-oh. Noticing I used bigger, like larger graves on this side. That ain't gonna work. No. How about no? Because I started shrinking them as I got into these new sections. I did that because, yeah, it's getting tight over here, and I didn't want like only 2 graves per section. Sergeant Danger Cow. Holy cow, hold up. I know you. I know you. You gave me a graphics card once. Yeah, that's a weird story right there. So I'm kind of like ingrained in the Battlefield community, right? Been playing Battlefield streaming for years. And this streamer, Sergeant Danger Cow, gave away like it was like a 1080 Ti back in the day. It's the graphics card I have in my PC, on my streaming PC. And he was doing a giveaway, and I won it on his stream. No jokes. This really happened. I don't know if he's still in our TikTok right now, but he was watching like 5 minutes ago. That blows my mind. I'm pretty sure it's the same dude. Well, that's where you get it wrong. You're supposed to base it off of your local king there, Anani. That's where you made a mistake. Duh. We're gonna get gravely serious about all these graves. Thought more people would be interested in my graphics card story, but it's okay. Part of Mac's past. We're in Mac's future right now. Mac's present. Yeah, the Mojave Desert is, you know, just pretty much like a lot of dirt and, you know, the occasional bush. Joshua trees galore. Hey, Highland Lass, how are you? What's new with you, my friend? Working on anything cool as of late? Any new maps or projects at home? It was just a giveaway. This guy, Sergeant Danger Cow, was like a pretty popular Battlefield streamer. I come to find out he's pretty well off. He's like pretty rich. And he loves the Battlefield community. And he was giving away like 10 graphics cards at a time, like in these big giveaways. And I thought they were fake. And I was like, okay, I'm going to join it. People say this guy is legit. And I won a graphics card. And he, living in the UK, was like, hey man, I would ship you one, but with all the duties and tax, it'll cost like an enormous amount. Why don't I just send you the money over PayPal and you buy yourself one? So he did. And I bought myself a graphics card. It was legit. Come to find out, the dude's like royalty or some shit. Hey, typos happen, Highland Lass. I get typos every day, and I've been typing since I was like 5 years old. I honestly, striving for perfection is like, it's like a great goal. But when it comes to our day-to-day communications, we're bound to mess things up. So I don't mind it at all. I get you. You're hooked on Soulframe. What is Soulframe? Can you enlighten me, please? Pretend I've never heard of Soulframe, which is the actual case. Peaches at 4 a.m. I mean, why not? That's what you're craving. Go for it, Anani. Or I mean, Tabby, sorry. Like, honestly, peaches are good. I love me some canned peaches or just like a fresh peach. Oh my goodness. I tear into peaches as a kid because, like, my grandparents had a peach tree. So this is essentially this whole next section. I need to kind of make the walkway for it, which will then make it easier to place the grid. So let's start with that. I mean, you're just chatting in the training presentation. You're not giving the presentation. That said, we're all human. We make mistakes. You know what I mean? I think that's a normal part of the human experience. Great. Got to figure out this gap now. I'm going to space them out just a little bit more than I'd like to. I think I'm just like getting to this point in my life where I'm more accepting of people's mistakes than I used to, is all. Oh man, that's crazy. Oh, it's made by the same people as Warframe? Interesting. That's cool. Oh, so maybe that's why I haven't heard of it, because it's new. Oh, you weren't talking about our stream. You were talking about something else. Gotcha, Highland Lass. I see what's got you a little bit, you know, flustered at the moment. I get it. children's safety online is very important. In fact, I am almost giddy with what's happening with Roblox at the moment. Because that place has been a, let's just say, a space where less than savory individuals can thrive. Oh, Shape Labs with a VR headset? That's cool. I think I have that app. I feel like I bought it years ago. And like I tried to use it, but my VR's controller was buggy, so it was really hard. All I gotta say is like I'm a father, right? And I would do like anything to protect my child. And like sort of disgusted on where like my government stance is on like that kind of stuff at the moment. Without getting too political. I have a Oculus 2, I think. What it's called. I have one sitting right by me. It's sitting over by my computer stuff with all my controllers and stuff, but I put like googly eyes on the outside. So when I'm wearing it, it looks like you can still see my eyes. Fun stuff. No, I think it's an Oculus 2 is what it's called. It might be a Rift 2. I don't know. But yeah, it does have like the App Store and a bunch of stuff. I played it a good amount, but it would give me motion sickness, so I kind of stopped. Oh, so close. My camera's not on today because I just wasn't feeling that great and wanted it off. Sometimes I don't feel like sharing my face, Artful Darkness. I know that's probably upsetting for some of you that tune in just solely to see my smiling demeanor. Listen, I didn't want to upset any of you today. I just didn't feel like showing my face. So no cam today, Artful Darkness. Thank you for checking in, though. But yeah, you get it. Right, Tabby? It's easy to get motion sickness with VR. It's fun, but at the same time, it's one of those things you definitely have to adapt to, for sure. So, Chim, how is the work going in your shed? What kind of work are you going to be doing? Pulling everything out, reorganizing it? What's the plan? Sure, it's better than the almost sobbing tears on live. Man was close to that the other day. Oh no. Sorry to hear that. You know, the pressure of going live can be pretty stressful sometimes. And I encourage everyone, if it's something, you know, that you feel like it gives you too much anxiety or, you know, stresses you out or isn't necessarily fun for you, maybe consider, you know, a different activity per se. I really want to do this like space here, but I can't see it under. I'm gonna just kind of eyeball it. Placing the stones every little bit here. Oh no, did you have to like throw away a lot of stuff? Tabby, I bet that would be unsettling. Falling asleep in VR, how could you even do that? I don't even imagine how that's possible. Hey, I noticed we had a follow in the last 10 minutes and I didn't see it earlier, so my apologies. They're still here. MCR Music, thank you for the follow. Oh, keep building. Let's keep building. Let's keep building, 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 building. Deleted. Ugh. I hope you were wearing like proper, you know, protection, and you know, gloves, and maybe a mask with mold. Mold is no joke. Stuff up. Stay safe, Jim. Mold is no joke. Oh, this is a path here that I didn't finish, I guess. I can see why. It's kind of hard to see where the ends are. Yay. Good enough. Wow, you're like a time traveler, Tabby. It's impressive. Being in the future. Yeah, my Monday's only just getting started. Yeah, people have reported it where the pole-based lamps, Rev, are you talking about those where they won't work on floors above floor 1? Pole-mounted lighting. Yeah, it's been reported. But might as well compound it. More reports equal, you know, more eyes on it. Oh, interesting. I didn't know that. So if you put them on the carpet, they're just fine. That's interesting. Next few sections are going to be tricky. That's all I'm going to say. So to get this to duplicate, as I place it, I'm pressing shift. You hold shift, it'll automatically do when you place it. Just a tip for those that might be new tuning in. Good to know, Rev. Thank you for the heads up. Oh man, I got a new infusion medication today. Nervous a bit. So you're trying out a new medication? Is that what you're saying, Tabby? Oh. That's always, you know, stressful endeavor. Trying a new medication for the first time. You never know how it'll affect you. You know, I sometimes I think about fear, right? It's a big part of our lives. We all are afraid of things, whether it's, you know, a certain bug or the dark or, you know, loneliness, whatever. Fear is a big part of our lives. It's a driving force in our day to day. If And I think that, often fear is mostly just something that we're hesitant about. Not always something like from the movies, like a horror scene. You know what I mean? Um, I guess what I'm getting at is often fear is or just hesitancy of the unknown than or like things you're not comfortable with than it is actually something incredibly awful and terrifying. Um, and I think you're mentioning that medication. You're fearful of it. It's a good reason to be fearful of it. It's this thing you're putting in your body. You're worried, something new. Though medications are often tested hundreds of thousands of times, the doctor prescribes it for a reason. So I like to think of fear often as a new opportunity presenting itself. There's many times I've been afraid to do something, and when I did it after, I was so happy I did. Like maybe one time it was cliff diving, or another time it was trying a new food or learning a new perspective. Anyway, sorry for that random tangent, but I just kind of, when you said that, it made me think that, like, if we are afraid of things constantly, it may be hard to even live our lives. Oh, you suffer from Crohn's, huh? So you have a chronic pain and immunocompromised disease, if I'm not mistaken, right? With Crohn's. Sorry, I'm not like a doctor, so I don't know all the symptoms of Crohn's offhand. That said, I do also deal with someone in my home someone who suffers from chronic pain and also is immunocompromised as a result. So I understand all too well the sort of hesitancy and stress, anxiety around trying new medication. Will they work? Will they, cause more problems than they're worth? Etc. Never fun. You'll learn the more you hang around here on the stream. That's actually something that I deal with pretty regularly as the kind of head of my household. My wife is, compromised and has chronic pain, so constantly helping her and assisting her and doing what I can to help her manage her pain, whether it's, taking her to her doctor's appointments or covering the cost of her medications or, helping her with day-to-day activities to make things like lesser burden. It's never fun to deal with those things as someone who has to deal with chronic pain, daily. I would imagine that. Starting to run out of space over here. I gotta space them out. I'm gonna put one like right here. Gap them a little bit, gap in between them instead of those tight graves. I might, like a lot of them over here don't have the top removed. Whenever you. Anyway. I'm really sorry you have to deal with, chronic pain. It is no bueno. I have no idea what it's like to experience the pain, but I do know what it's like to be in a household with someone who does. JW, that's a great question, actually. First off, welcome to the stream. My name is Mac. I'm the community manager for Dungeon Alchemist. So Dungeon Alchemist is available on Steam. And like most Steam applications, if you have Steam loaded on both of your computers and you're logged in with the same account, you can install the same application or game on multiple devices. As long as you're not running them at the same time on two different devices, Steam usually doesn't have a problem with it. So if you own a copy of Dungeon Alchemist, you can install it on any computer where you're logged in on your Steam account. Any maps you create in Dungeon Alchemist, you can save them, and they're saved as our proprietary file format, which is DAM or DAM files, which stands for Dungeon Alchemist Map. And those files can be, saved on a flash drive, a hard drive, stored in a cloud storage, like a Google Drive or whatever. You can send them over an email and open it on a separate computer. As long as Dungeon Alchemist is installed on that machine, should not be a problem at all. I appreciate it. If you have any other questions, please let me know. The stream is hosted AMA format, which means ask me anything. So if you have any Dungeon Alchemist related inquiries, feel free to let me know and I will do my best to provide you guidance, assistance through your map making journey. By the way, we offer a free demo on Steam so you could try Dungeon Alchemist out before you buy. You don't need to invest a whole lot of money or time into it before you try it out, or, before you put any major effort into it, I guess. Starting to get this like overlapping each other almost. In a little. We got them graves. So many graves. Probably. This space, I need to think what to do with it. Thinking planters or benches or something. Statues would be great, but not every one of them. Eon, welcome to the stream. How are you doing today? My name is Mac. I'm the community manager for Dungeon Alchemist. In regards to your question, been wanting to try this. Let's see here. Is there a future of Dungeon Alchemist becoming a full VTT, or is that too robust to do? So in regards to your question, Dungeon Alchemist first and foremost is a map-making utility. It's a map maker and an immersion tool. So you build maps in it, which then can export to a number of different mediums, whether it's for in-person printed maps, or you do a TV tabletop or a projector tabletop with digital files such as JPEGs or MP4s on a loop. Alternatively, you can export for all major virtual tabletops on the market, such as Foundry, Fantasy Grounds, Roll20, Above VTT, and more. Now, keeping that in mind, because Dungeon Alchemist's priority is map making, we tend to have a really robust, detailed map making tool that offers a lot more than the average, I feel. And I know I'm a bit biased as the community manager. A lot of people love the 3D aspect of our building, the beautiful detail of our assets, all the variety of biomes we offer, the Steam Workshop support where you can share maps or upload assets to expand upon your library. That being said, Dungeon Alchemist as a VTT, this program I don't think will ever be a virtual tabletop and a map maker together. What I do think will happen is likely we will release a standalone product that is supplemental to Dungeon Alchemist. So a virtual tabletop that takes full advantage of our map making tool and all of the, features and biomes and objects and effects and everything it can support. Our devs have numerous times stated that after we have delivered on all our Kickstarter promises and leave early access, they plan to offer a sort of VTT light or a standalone VTT that would supplement Dungeon Alchemist to its absolute peak. I mean, honestly, at the end of the day, when we added the miniature interaction, that was more immersion than anything. And I know what you're talking about, where you place a token down on the map and can walk around and kind of see it in first person, or even navigate the token with, you know, your keyboard and mouse. The point of this really was to give you as a DM a tool that you could screenshot or record at your player's eye level. And I know, you know, when you look at it at first glance, it seems like very VTT-esque. We've got a grid, we've got tokens, all these things. When we added this, the initial intention was essentially, hey, let's give you your player eye view and allow you to take screenshots or video that you can use as handouts for your players. Do you use handouts at all in your campaign, Eon? Goodness, I don't know what I did to freeze DA. We'll give it a minute. See you in a bit, Anani. You use Foundry? So, like, one thing that we often get from Foundry members in our community is people asking, hey, will our maps ever export in a full 3D to work with 3D Canvas? Which is a module for Foundry, not a stock feature, mind you. We often get asked this because people see the 3D maps and they want to take advantage of that and have full 3D play. At the end of the day, Dungeon Alchemist wasn't designed for that. It wasn't designed to export in a 3D. And I know I might be getting off on a tangent based on your personal preference, can be completely different from this. But I do think, though, if we offered our own supplemental virtual tabletop, it may be able to take advantage of those 3D aspects more than, you know, a traditional virtual tabletop would. Something that was designed with top-down tabletop in mind. That's what Foundry was designed for, right? Man, I don't know what I did. I might crash DA. We'll see. So, Eon, how long have you been using Dungeon Alchemist? By the way, I love your username. That's great. I don't know if this is going to make it or not. I think it's going to survive. If I just am patient, it'll load into it. You wish listed it. Gotcha. Awesome. Awesome. Have you tried our demo? On Steam, we offer a free demo now, so you can kind of try before you buy. I will be honest. It is essentially a very small slice of the overall pie, like a demo would be, usually just a small bit of the action. So just keep that in mind if you try it out. But the demo, you can actually export maps and use them in Foundry. Man, I might have crashed DA. This is embarrassing. Gosh, I hope it doesn't crash because I did a lot of work without saving. I guess the autosave caught it. Gotta love autosave. Slept so awful last night. My cat was climbing all over me all night. Just wanted attention, kept waking me up. As soon as I lay down with him, he'd get up and start roaming again. I was like, what is wrong? I was looking all over trying to see. He had water. He had dinner before bed. His box was fine. I looked all over the house. There was nothing there. Like, he was just being a pain. Finally, it loaded. But yeah, the first person view is ultimately designed to give you like a player's eyes view for your players to see what it's like from their perspective for once. We can let them cast fireballs from their fingers. They can fly. They can teleport. But we can't let them see through their own eyes. What? Oh, once it was ready, I bought it. Gotcha. Gotcha. So you do own a copy of Dungeon Alchemist. Sorry for the confusion there. My bad. Oh shoot, I forgot it's trash day. Bummer. Take all the trash to the curb. Yeah, it's okay. Oh, nice. Yeah, Incarnate's a great program. You know, like I love how good they are at like a regional or world scale. Great piece of kit. I honestly don't really think of other map making tools as competition. I know that sounds arrogant. I don't mean it that way. I think of them more as complementary. Like, what carpenter can make a cabinet with just hammer and nails? You need saw, you need chisels, you need sanding tools, you need all these different things to make a cabinet. Even if you're the best carpenter in the world, you need a few tools to accomplish the task, right? So when it comes to DMing, I think, if you have a few tools in your tool belt, it can make you a more well-rounded DM. Having a couple different map making tools, virtual tabletop, maybe sound effects, different things like that can go a long way. Really adding a lot of immersion to your campaign. Tool time? What are we talking about? Am I doing something with tools again? Jim, I'm glad you're motivated, though. You saw me sweating bullets and covered in sawdust. You're like, I need to clean my shed because of Mac. Glad I helped. Honestly, it's probably good, for you to get that like clean up, especially just a good like refresher to have things all new and different, and with a big change. I enjoy kind of shuffling things up and changing the way things look in a space every year or so. Drives me crazy otherwise. We've got graves for days. So I had a few drinks last night and just completely passed out because, like, I don't drink that often. When I do, like, poop, just I'm knocked out. I am not like a funny drunk or a mean drunk. I just get knocked out. I just go to sleep. So last night, drank a little bit. The next thing I know, it's 1 a.m. and I'm like, why am I up at 1 a.m? And I couldn't sleep the rest of the night. It was infuriating. Honestly, that's cool though. Like the shed, I'm sure, you know, when was the last time you cleaned it? It was probably when you filled it up with stuff the last time, right? It's good to kind of just get that refresh and like start over anew with all this new space, new energy. You know what I mean? Even though it's the same old space, it can feel very different. Oh, gotcha. I missed the connection there. My bad. I didn't see them as literal tools, even though I was talking about them as literal tools, as a analogy. So my bad. Mac brain dumb. No good work. I'm the one breaking the fourth wall. How can I break the fourth wall if you can't even see me? Jeez, Rev. Need to build my workbench and the gift wrapping station. My wife requested. You're that behind on honeydews, bro. Oh no. Oh no, they're just gonna pile up, my man. The list is long, it's the debt. Oh, that's hilarious. And this space is getting small. Just trying to cram all these graves in here. I'm getting worried. Like, what am I gonna do? I think I should put like a bench or something here. It's getting too small for graves. So, let's see here. He uses 2 different tools for 3D modeling and painting. 1 second. Let me yell out to her and see what they're called. I bought them. You'd think I'd know what they are, but I can't remember what they're called. Okay. So on iPad, she uses Nomad Sculpt for 3D sculpting, and she uses Procreate to paint and like color the 3D models. And she has an iPad and one of the Apple pens that she uses for that. So yeah, she'll just like draw it out freehand. Topiary could work. Once in a while, I'll look over at chat and kind of forget what I'm doing. Oh yeah, I'm building paths. Get paving, Mac. Ross is short for Ross Al Ghul. It'd be such a small pond space, but I could fence it off and it'd look okay. It's like, look, these are about to meet right here. This is pretty cool, actually, how close these are. Want these like overlapping right here. Ah, so close. No. Bitches. I mean, son of bleeps. Are you at work right now, Dyson, and watching the stream? How? What are you doing, girl? Just don't want you to get in trouble, you know? How's things going for you as of late? How are you stocking warehouse shelves from home? I'm so confused. Are you like manning a robot in a warehouse or something? Like, what are you doing? Oh. You're actually building a warehouse in Dungeon Alchemist. I thought you were working in a warehouse while you were watching the stream. I was so confused for a moment. Gotcha. You know what? I feel that. My work is all online too. But what's your job? But you work in HR. So you're the face everyone sees before they get fired. It's just a meme that there is like it's kind of a TikTok theme where they'll be showing like people in an office environment. It's usually like the HR manager doing a dance to a TikTok like trend. And then someone will joke about that being like the dance that the HR manager does as they go to fire you or lay you off. I don't know if I'm the only one that's seen those, but they always make me laugh. Okay, this fenced area, I'm trying to figure out what to do with this. So when they were letting you go, you just like deadpan stared at them. You're like, okay, cool. My family will love this. This is a huge opportunity for me. Thank you. And just walked out. Goodness. Pizza pond too? It could be a pizza pond. It really could. I love that our community is so like dialed in with this. This is the old pizza pond. Got some turtles. Because you know, turtles like their pizza. Not gonna lie, that looks good. Probably gonna do that on like all these corners. Them up really good. Whoop. Honestly, I'm like sitting here thinking, how would I respond to that? Dude, you totally like messed with their head for sure. They're like, you know, you're just basically like, yeah, I know every time you've called me family, it was a lie. So no worries. They're probably more worried you'd litigate. Like saying it that calmly and just like walking out. That's crazy though, Rev. From what you tell me too, you have like a pretty intense job. Like it's like you know a lot of stuff that other people wouldn't know. So firing you, it's like kind of like firing Scruffy in Futurama. Boilers and toilets, toilets and boilers. Firing me if you dare. Or plus that one boiling toilet. Firing me if you dare. But I mean, especially when you know it's not performance and they've already revealed that, that also gives you grounds for unemployment, right? Depending on where you're based. Oh man, I might finish off this section today. Look at this. Look at all these graves. Map was gravely mistaken. It thought it could get the best of me. Keep in mind, this is just one small section of the 5 or 6 that remain. This area is going to be mausoleums. I'm going to call it right now. Just tons of mausoleums. Yeah, not feeling it today, Eric. I just kind of woke up and was a little under the weather. How you doing today, my guy? I'm okay. Just not bad enough to like that I couldn't stream. Just bad enough I didn't want my face on the camera. Woke up this morning, saw my face in the mirror. I was like, nope, ain't happening. Sorry, no one gets to enjoy this beauty today. Keeping it to myself. Honestly, yeah, we got a game in just a few days, huh? On the 24th, just 6 days out. My group isn't used to playing this frequent. I hope they'll be okay with it. I kind of forced them into a double session this month by just saying, hey, it's me and my son's birthday and we want to pay for an extra game. You guys are cool with it, right? They were very happy. That's a joke, honestly. They were excited. It's just kind of between our schedules and our finances, it's not always possible to do a second game. Oh, goodness. At the rate we're burning through resources last session, I'm a little worried. I was talking with Sarah, actually, Eric, and I think she was doubling down on her spells. She was clicking the cast and also clicking the box, because I was going with her and I was like, you didn't cast 3 level 3 spells. We were talking about her spell slots and did the math and it didn't add up. So she was actually doubling each time. And I think she's done that every session since she's been with us. No! So she's been basically like kneecapping herself on the amount of slots she has, because she will cast and it'll take the slot automatically and then push, like check the slot box. I'm always wondering like why she's out of slots. Well, the last 2 sessions, she's like, I have got nothing left. I got no slots. And I was talking to her about it after. I'm like, wait, what? Because I was doing the math. I'm like, you should almost have as many slots as me. There's no way you should be running out. And we were like going through the session, everything she casted. And yeah, she had doubled down by clicking cast and then also checking it manually. I felt so bad. But we went through and undid them. And so she's got her spell slots back for next section, or for next session. But, I mean, going forward, we got to stay on top of that for sure. Oh my goodness. It made me laugh so hard. But I was like, oh yeah, that's an easy thing to overlook with Beyond, or D&D Beyond. So basically, you are the guy. Like, if they got rid of you, they'd have to find another guy to replace you. And it's not that easy to do, Rev. You know what I mean? You need a poison pill in your programming. So if they end up, you know, screwing you over, if you stop programming for a week or 2, there's like a dead man switch that just destroys it all. No, don't do that, actually. They probably have some contract with you that you get in trouble and have to pay them. If you're doing 100% freelance work for them and they are depending on your code, definitely, because you want to make sure you get paid. But if you're an actual employee, don't do that. I have had friends who do coding work and don't get paid by the people, get completely screwed over, have to take them to court. They've started doing things like that, where they can pull the website offline or destroy the database remotely when the person refuses to pay them their due. Gosh, this is looking so cool. Not gonna lie, it's coming together. I mean, if anything, Rev, maybe use it as an opportunity to start, like, taking that offer and, like, shopping for other offers. You know what I mean, man? Eric, how's your week been, dude? You had a bunch of streams this week? Oh, that's amazing. Thinking I might actually remove this fence here. And just end the fence going this way, and it'll be like one entrance. I'm gonna have to do the fence all. Figure out where it ends appropriately. That's our end. Here we go. Dude, I wish you nothing but success. You're so creative and talented, you know? And you have the motivation. I don't see any reason why you won't find success if you are persistent, you know? Very good. Need to figure out how to cut that. This one needs to go. That's like a pass through. Assuming that one. Figure out like one piece. Try deleting. Copied it. Oops. Monday is the start of my back end of my week. Only 3 more sessions before a day off. Dang, dude, I hope you get some good time off, get some rest. Don't want you getting burnt out, you know what I mean? Then what would I do once a month with myself? I don't know. This weird corner section, it bothers me. I might do like a statue or something there. Have a little path going in and like a statue. So on your days off, you relax and rest by playing more D&D. Oh, nice. I honestly been wanting to research Daggerheart because I keep reading more about it. I'm always leery about new systems, right? Because a new system comes out and it's like, hey, try this out. And then before you know it, it's like not really a mainstream thing or abandoned or whatever. This one seems to have enough oomph behind it to go the distance. But not only that, like a lot of people are really ranting and raving about it. I want to learn about it because I want to speak to it as the community manager and how Dungeon Alchemist may, you know, interface and work with it. I'm assuming pretty straightforward, but the more you know, the better. Arteris, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Hello there. General Kenobi. I have been trained by Count Dooku in your Jedi arts. Glad to hear, Eric. Glad to hear. I'm good, Arteris. I'm good. I, also started my work week as well. Had a good day off yesterday, kind of relaxed. And today is Mapmaker Monday, building a map for all to enjoy. The Daggerheart combo was very, very short, William Walrus. Welcome back, by the way, my friend. How have you been? I missed you around these parts. Back. Bought me a cold beer as well. Nice, Anani. What kind of beer? Important. I mean, honestly, Arteris is low-hanging fruit. I'm surprised most people don't get it. The hello there thing is like been a meme as long as I can remember. A Belgian ale? Nice, nice. What kind of Belgian ale? I forget, you're based in Belgium, right, Anani? So you guys have like the best ales, the best beers. That's what my bosses say. Oh, you know what, William? I understand the grind, my man. You gotta, make sure you got security in your home life. You got the bread to pay for the bills and the food and, saving for your future. Sometimes you don't always have time for, pleasure or fun activities when you're grinding. Especially when you're grinding for your future. Arteris, this tool is called Dungeon Alchemist. This is actually the official Dungeon Alchemist channel. My name is Mac. I'm the community manager for Dungeon Alchemist. So you've tuned into the official channel of a map making tool. It's designed to make maps for tabletop games such as Dungeons and Dragons, Pathfinder, and I'm learning Daggerheart as well. But you can make maps by hand or you can generate them in moments using our room generation or environment generation tools. And it's an amazing tool to really get beautiful detailed maps that have like every one of your specifics. As you can see here, I'm like putting in tons of time and detail into this graveyard, which probably isn't necessary, but fun. Oh, you have it on your wish list. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. So do you run with physical terrain mixed with the digital terrain, William? Look, our whole community's just dogpiling on Arteris. Honestly, you're just going to talk to a bunch of happy, satisfied GMs and DMs here. For the most part, everyone in the chat right now is someone who uses Dungeon Alchemist diligently for their own campaigns, and they're just here to learn more or vibe and hang out with like-minded map makers. Goodness, this is so good. That's really cool, William. Honestly, that's awesome. I'd love to see pictures of it sometime. I know you're busy and whatnot, but if you ever have time, I would absolutely love to see, pictures of your setup from a game. Arteris, if you have any questions, these streams are AMA format. Anytime we're streaming, you can tune in, ask questions, and I will provide you guidance in real time, kind of like a like a professor in a course. Right? For the damn fam, Anani, is what we call it. You're missing a letter there, my friend. That looks so good. Oh my goodness. Oh, Peems, you're making a modern X mansion? Oh, that's so cool. Have you shared any pictures of it or like uploaded it to the workshop yet? I would love to see an X mansion. No worries, Walrus. Keep grinding, my friend, and when you get back to DMing, we'll keep the seat warm for you. You know what I mean? Hey, Arteris, thank you for the follow, and Peems, by the way. Thank you, both of you, for the follows. Danke. That's like German for thank you, right? Honestly, that's what I was going for when I was creating it, is I wanted it to feel like an old cemetery, and one of the oldest cemeteries in the United States, for reference for me, is New Orleans, right? They have some of the most like massive drawn out cemeteries in the entire US. And I was kind of going for that feel. Granted, I'm not like basing it off of any actual cemetery, but I did look at pictures of New Orleans cemeteries when I started for inspiration. Miss New Orleans, don't miss the humidity. You miss the culture, right? Just not the weather. Oh, I bet the food is to die for, man. Wardian, how you doing? How's my favorite goblin doing? Oh, Peems, you're remaking your maps. I'm sorry you have to remake some of your maps due to the adjustments with the Fun with Objects update. But I'm betting the updated maps are so nice with a multi-level and all the updated textures on a bunch of the objects. And I can only imagine you're getting a lot more immersion and detail than you've ever had before. Now, I am taking a bold assumption there, but that's just my personal experience, at least with the update, is it seems to be adding so much more detail and like absolute scale when it comes to multi-level. You know, it's funny you say that, William. Everyone said a necromancer would have a heyday here, and I was thinking it like this community, this city that has this massive graveyard, they have a severe amount of like sincere reverence for their dead. And I said that because I started like decorating and putting treasures and stuff, and people were like, grave robbers would have a heyday here, or a necromancer would have a heyday here. I'm like, yeah, they would, but it's kind of frowned on by this society. Everyone here has a lot of respect for the dead. They care for the graves. They have a severe, like a good amount of reverence for them, and stealing from them is taboo. And a lot of people think it'll curse you. So But because of community feedback, we added a few little cheeky, fun bits to the map to make it seem like there's some nefarious activity happening. So this is the property of the caretaker, the guy who essentially manages and cleans up the entire, cemetery. He goes through, weeds it, waters it, maintains all the hedges, helps dig graves, you know what I mean? The guy is kind of basically entwined with all of this, right? But back in the very back of his property, behind everything, there's this pile of manure by his shed, and under it is a little hatch. What's that hatch doing there? And if you come over to this mausoleum right here, underneath the sarcophagus, another hatch. And then lastly, inside of the massive cathedral, in the confessional booth, which actually is designed to be fun for this reason, the confessional booth has secret doors and passages. So you can actually exit out the back of the confessional booth and go down to an underground chamber that's hidden beneath the chapel. I mean, yeah, having a faith that, you think the dead will come back, you may want to bury them deeper or put, rocks on top of them, chain them up. That already exists, actually. I mean, there's graves like that already in the world where they're covered in, iron wrapping and all sorts of stuff because they thought someone might come back. You can ask questions related to anything tabletop gaming. I'm not the best DM, so I may not be able to give you sage advice, but I can do my best to answer your questions. Geez, Wardian. Your mind went right to the dark place. You let those intrusive thoughts win every time. Of course, the rogue would have to, infer that place actually exists first. That secret door. But yeah, they'd be likely to find it. Just remembering I haven't saved in a hot minute, so I'm gonna save twice. It's a goblin thing, you wouldn't understand, Mac. Listen, you're not trying to constantly get one up on people, so you wouldn't understand it. The most unexplored biome in Dungeon Alchemist, if I have to be quite honest, is the Skeletal Plains biome. I think it's the most underutilized biome in our entire subset of biomes, followed by Badlands. Most people stick to desert when they want a desert instead of a Badlands kind of biome with its mesas and sandstone and whatnot. The Skeletal Plains biome, because it generates piles of bones, a lot of people don't really give it a second thought and look at like the terrain options it offers. So in the Skeletal Plains biome, you have a bunch of really gross terrain options that make these hellish tryptophobic environments very possible in a few swipes. Arterus, because Dungeon Alchemist is first and foremost a map making tool, and an immersion utility. It's not a virtual tabletop. It doesn't really have Fog of War. Fog of War is usually something supplemented by a virtual tabletop. It's a digital feature that you primarily see in video games or virtual tabletops, if I'm not mistaken. So Foundry, for instance, provides Fog of War for sightlines that you haven't explored yet. Dungeon Alchemist maps, when you export a map from DA, it includes all of the data for the walls, windows, doors, lighting, etc. So it includes all the line of sight markers for your character, so they know where a wall is, where a window is, where a door, where a light is, etc. Fog of War is automatically generated because of that in your virtual tabletop. That being said, there aren't really tools to make Fog of War or play within DA itself, but our community is really clever and have come up with a few ways to work around the limitations within Dungeon Alchemist as a map maker only, and many in our community use it as a gameplay tool. So first and foremost, you can turn on the grid in Dungeon Alchemist. You have a grid tool, that's Alt-G, and the settings in your grid tools can be affected pretty much however you want. You can change the color of the grid, you can change the transparency or brightness, you can even change it between square and hex. Not going into that a whole lot. That being said, when you're playing on a TV tabletop at home, you can hide the user interface so there's no UI anymore. And then lastly, when it comes to Fog of War, some of our community members use things like the black smoke that is available under our effects. The black smoke, granted, it's not Fog of War, but if you cover an area with it, it can work quite well. So in a way, it is kind of, your Fog of War. That being said, though, when you add effects to the map and it's running like a live map, the effects take a lot of processing power, a lot of RAM, and they really slow down your map and your performance. The alternative is covering the map with objects that look like Fog of War. So you can go into like our abstract menu here, and we have these kind of blank squares, right? Give you an example here. Say I wanted to Fog of War this section right here. So I'd make it kind of big enough to cover the cathedral, right? And then you could change it to black or insert a black image into it and then raise it above everything, kind of block it out. And then when your players enter that area, you could delete the square that covers that area. Granted, this is a big square covering a huge area. You could use lots of smaller squares to accomplish a similar effect. But all that being said, Dungeon Alchemist, like I said, first and foremost is a map making tool and an immersion utility. You should be exporting your maps to be played somewhere where Fog of War, if you want Fog of War, would likely be present, i.e. Foundry, Fantasy Grounds, Roll20, etc. Gotcha. A lot of people in our community have run Lost Mines using Dungeon Alchemist. In fact, there's hundreds of Lost Mines maps that are shared on the Steam Workshop currently. Failure in Motion, welcome, by the way. How you doing today? I'm glad you're liking it, Arteris. And honestly, it's kind of when it's a new tool to you, it's exciting, and you're like, what all can this do and can it not do? You want to learn inside and out, right? That's kind of my point being here, is I'm here to assist you, guide you, and provide, answers to your questions in real time. So if you have any more questions, feel free to ask. Failure in Motion, by the way, thank you for that follow. Stream's going very well. Appreciate you asking. I need to continue adding graves here. Grave. That lined up. Oh. Oof, that's really tight. Okay. Gonna move that back a little bit. By the way, I just want to welcome one and all to the stream that are, new faces here. My name is Mac. I'm the community manager for Dungeon Alchemist. Normally, I will stream with a cam on, but I'm just not feeling my best today, so I left the cam off so you wouldn't have to be burdened by my ugly face. Throughout the stream today, we answer questions in real time and provide guidance and insight to the tool that is Dungeon Alchemist. If you have any concerns, feedback, questions, anything like that, please let me know and I will do my best to answer your question in real time. It more or less is kind of an idea that is being developed into something more realistic right now, Inani. I want to do this. I've run the idea by at least half of our, lead devs to kind of get them on board. I should be having a meeting soon with them to discuss a few points of business. That is one of them. But if I can get the approval to expense it, then I will start doing it immediately. The thing is I don't want to go through and put a bunch of time and money into something and if they're going to be like, no, you can't do that, right? I want to do it, and I would love to dress up as a few different cosplays. One would be the Bob Ross one, where I'm just making maps looking like Bob Ross. And then another one would be me kind of looking like a steampunk alchemist. That I'm essentially just, the dungeon alchemist in here hanging out, making maps. Like I said, though, it is not a finalized thing. It's more or less just an idea that I really want to take to the next level. I don't think anyone's not been... I don't think anyone's been disrespectful today, per se, Asmodeus. Most everyone today has been very chill, in fact. I don't think we've had any problems on the stream. But I do appreciate you bringing that up. It does seem like, as of late, we've had a few people who were, let's just say, passionate about Dungeon Alchemist and weren't happy with, where things are in our development, which that's fine. Dungeon Alchemist isn't made for everyone, and we try to follow the promises we made to our Kickstarter community first and foremost, because that's how we got here, was our Kickstarter. Have some major promises and stretch goals remaining from that development. Once we've delivered on all those goals, we may be going far beyond that, completely different styles, different aesthetics and biomes outside of fantasy. Possibly a standalone VTT that would supplement Dungeon Alchemist. The future is going to be bright for our community and our dev team. I feel like I have a radio face every day. Y'all just are really nice to me. My goodness, is that who I think it is? I don't like to call out lurkers, but I want to say hello to this one person. Nady, are you lurking right now? Are you actually watching? Are you present? My friend from Bite the Bullet Studios. I think they're just watching and lurking. They may not actively be present right now, but our friend from Bite the Bullet Studios, who makes all these amazing tokens, particularly, you know, this one in these ones in the last update, these oozes, the mud elemental, but all of them were made by their crew. But I'm just saying, like, these new ones are really cool. Very excited about them. But Bite the Bullet, amazing team of artists that make beautiful, beautiful tokens. You can actually go to their website and order tokens in bulk, and you get the 3D model and you can print them, or you can order them shipped from them. My favorite new 3D model in the bunch is the Scarecrow, though. It's a fun one. So all these oozes. So yesterday I was so like burnt out from working in the heat that I didn't work in my workshop at all. I was just so exhausted. I took the day to kind of recuperate. I call it the 3 R's: relax, rejuvenate, and regroup. Or relax, recuperate, rejuvenate. Depends on if you're in a group or not. If you're doing solo work, regrouping doesn't really work. 4 followers to go till what? Oh my goodness, we are so close to 2,900. I didn't even know. Would you look at that? That's impressive. Honestly, like, I stopped caring about those kind of numbers a while ago because I feel like it's fun to have those goals, but it also, like, focusing on your following numbers are not like, it's not a real indicator of success in a stream or a social media account. So, Arteris, the size of a map you can create is directly proportionate to your PC specs. We warn you, if you try to make a map that's 60 by 60, most people in our community can't make maps over, 50 by 50 or less with their average computers. If you have like a streaming or a gaming computer, you could easily make maps up to 200 by 200. By that size, do you mean 6144 squares by 4096 squares? Or do you mean that resolution? Because that's a massive map. That's like the size of like an Arc server map. That's a world map size, regional map size. Unfortunately, Dungeon Alchemist, it really isn't designed to make maps that large. It's usually meant for local. You can make, cities, towns, villages, but it's usually meant for like encounters, battle maps, or specific areas. That being said, like this map here, it is quite large. It's 85 by 82. This is a pretty big map. As you can see, there's a lot going on here. Now, that being said, plenty of people in our community make regional and like city scale maps, world maps, but they use something called forced perspective because Dungeon Alchemist has objects, and the objects, you can pretty much scale them infinite. Like you can take an object like this and make it massive or tiny. And so what people will do is they'll scale objects down and make them tiny and make like little villages on a regional scale. Make little roads connecting to villages and towns in between areas, so it feels more like a a big map instead of a small map. So don't just let the size of the squares, the amount of square count, be like your compass. That square count is important when you're making like encounter maps, battle maps, but when you start making regional and city maps, it's really not as important. Like if you look at our Steam Workshop, right? Which you can't unfortunately do in the demo. But every once in a while, you'll find a map that's been shared by someone that's using what's called forced perspective. They make a regional map by scaling down like objects of houses into small ones and making it look like a much larger area. I'm trying to find one. Hold on. I know there was one just shared the other. Where is it? This is kind of an example of like a town that's been forced perspectives. Stand by. Oh no, we're gonna have to download these assets. On the workshop, though, you can download assets that are just like a single house that's a solid little object, and there's tons of them, hundreds of them that are all different colors, shapes, and sizes. So you can make a whole village or a city or a massive, like, water-deep scale size city using objects only instead of using the room tool to generate rooms. When you start doing city-size maps or regional-size maps, that's when a hex grid is more important than a square grid. At least in my personal experience. William, if you find it, please share it on our Discord in the channel we have for sharing maps. Sorry, it's Community Creations. But if you look at this here, they made like a whole town, a village, right? But it's 71 by 40. It's actually, not too big. But these are like just objects that can be scaled down. So you could put hundreds of them by each other to make like a whole city block. Does that make sense? Start adding more houses, it becomes a much larger city. There's examples of this, like walled cities on the workshop, though. Let me see if I can find one. I'm just going to search city. Yeah, this is a great example right here. Or this one. Here's Neverwinter. There's a great example. Forced perspective has been around for, like 100 years. It's like a trick used in photography to make an item look much larger or smaller than it is at a glance. Have you ever seen those photos where it looks like someone's holding someone in their hand, and they're really tall? They're like a really small person sitting in their hand, like a smaller version of themselves. It's because they're standing about 50 feet behind the person with their hand being held out, and they're both in focus in a weird kind of fun play with our eyes and our perspective. Hey, see you later, Tabby. Have a good one. Thank you for being here. That's a massive resolution. I don't even know what Foundry would never load that. That's the other thing, Arteris. Making a map of that size, Foundry has limitations. It has resolution limits, file size limits. If you get too big of a map in Foundry, it just won't load for you or your players. So you got to kind of work within Foundry's limitations too. Like, it'd be amazing to make a world map, but you gotta get clever. What's up, Wardian? Love the sandwich. Oh man, that makes me hungry. I'm feeling like breakfast. Well, the thing is like today I'm feeling like I want eggs, right? I want some eggs, but eggs are so damn expensive. I feel like I'm Oysters Rockefeller over here when I have eggs for breakfast. Pizza for breakfast? Why not? I'll be honest with you, this morning I was hungry and I had some leftover fried chicken that my wife made last night for dinner. Like I had a strip left and I ate it this morning for breakfast. So like whatever feels good for you. So look at this, Arteris. Like this is Neverwinter, right? But it's at scale. So it's been forced perspective down to be much, it's much smaller than it really is. It's like a model of Neverwinter, if you think about it. But look at this grid. When I turn the grid on, clearly a home doesn't eat up a 5-foot square. That would be like, 4 squares or more. So what they've done is just put objects and made them very small houses. Tiny almost. Like if I were to put a token in here, it'd feel like a Titan. Look at this guy. We want food. That's like the default token size. So if it gives you an idea of how small these have been scaled down to make it work. How you doing, Vega? A Darth Vega. No less. I feel like Attack on Titan was a victim of its own success. The show just blew up, right? From the first season. And then it couldn't keep up with the demand and like all the hype behind it. And then they kept pushing out the seasons, but they'd take like 4 or 5 years in between. And you just forget that that show even existed. I didn't even watch like the last 2 seasons because I didn't even know they were out. Eggs with pizza? I would have never considered that, Wardian. But I'm also not a goblin, so. I feel like a lot of shows are doing that nowadays, not just animation, which animation, it used to be reasonable to have a couple years in between the seasons. I get it, because they got to animate it. But a live action show with 4 years in between the seasons drives me crazy. Looking at you, Stranger Things. Those kids are not kids anymore. They're adults. They have their own kids that age. Oh, it's an amazing show, don't get me wrong. For sure, Wardian. I think Attack on Titan's story and tone and pacing shifted so dramatically after the second season. It went from people surviving against giants to this massive conspiracy about how the giants were actually, created by people and controlled by people who knew how to control them and were doing these things maliciously. It's like it ended up being this massive conspiracy show instead of actually being about fighting giants. Like I don't mind the story and how it progressed, but I just didn't think the later seasons captured the like energy and magic of the first couple seasons. Yeah, Stranger Things is going to be good for sure. I'm excited. And the Duffer Brothers were given a lot of creative control. And almost every episode is like an hour plus, like pushing to 2 hours, some of them. So they're all like movie length episodes. That being said, they're already planning their exit to another company like Paramount. They're trying to get a deal with them to leave Netflix. So dang, I'm looking at the time. We're actually 10 past the hour, about 7 past the hour. So it's time to wrap up. Had a lot of fun hanging out with y'all. We got a lot of building done today and a lot of support inquiries handled today. Let's go back to the ancient cemetery, take a look at what we got done, and then we'll wrap up the stream. Darth Vega, thank you for that sub, by the way. Much appreciated. Welcome to the Damn Fam, as I like to call it. It was an amazing stream. I wouldn't call it S tier, but it's still amazing stream. I'm just kidding. Our streams are always S tier. So I did, I think, from here all the way down. It was like this entire, these 2-3 sections all the way down of graves. Not bad at all. We are like pretty much done with this section. That is so cool. Once I put all the graves out, we'll have to decorate a few of these dead spots, put some stuff on the graves, coins, flowers, you know, stuff like that. Hey, William, enjoy your snack, man. Honestly, I'm not that brave to put egg on pizza, but you do you. Follow your journey and enjoy. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in today for Mapmaker Monday. I know it's your favorite stream of the week, so I do appreciate when every one of you tune in and hang out and, you know, vibe with me, provide me some company while I build a map. I very much appreciate everyone who was helping, you know, provide support and insight to map making to anyone who came in and had questions. Big thank you to our mods for their support today. And our long-term viewers who tune in week after week. You are all amazing. And remember, whether you are lurking today or actively chatting, you're an important part of our community. Appreciate you all so very, very much. Our next stream is Wednesday. That stream is in our Discord. It's Discord exclusive. Today's stream was a multi-stream. It was, you know, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, Steam simultaneously. But our stream on Wednesday is Discord only. So if you want to tune into that stream, if you have questions, support inquiries, make sure that you are a member of our Discord. If you're not, Atlam, can you drop some links for Discord across the stream feeds so everyone can check it out? Our Discord is our main area, our main amalgamation of our community. Over 34,000 members hang out there and chat and provide each other with insight and guidance, support, hang out and discuss, you know, things D&D, Pathfinder related, homebrew ideas, encounter ideas. And people are always sharing maps and 3D models that they make, so you can kind of get the latest inside scoop of all the cool new, you know, building techniques and new assets that are being shared on the workshop. Highly recommend you tune into our Wednesday stream. We call it Office Hours. Anyway, we host Office Hours every Wednesday. That's at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, and 5 p.m. UTC. Our following stream after that is on Saturday. That is the Damn Challenge. I'm sure you've seen the marquee saying the Damn Challenge theme is Tower. Let me enlighten you on what that means. Every 2 weeks on our stream, we host a map making contest called the Damn Challenge. We pick out a theme as a community. Our current theme is Tower. Using Tower as inspiration, you make a map of any shape or size, hopefully with a tower in it, and then you submit that map to the Damn Challenge channel in our Discord. In that channel, there's some rules pinned at the top that you must follow in order to be qualified for the damn challenge. As long as you follow those rules and submit your entry before the deadline, you have a chance to win a $10 Hero Forge gift card. And if you're the winning map, your map is the first map featured on the stream, getting roughly 30 minutes of FaceTime with our community. Allows you to kind of flex your Mapmaker muscle on, this gaggle of GMs who are checking out your work. It's also a great place to learn because you see all these amazing building techniques and we go over how they did it in the stream and share that with you. So you learn a lot during these streams as well. So whether you're planning on making a map to share on the stream or you want to just tune in and learn, make sure that you check out our Discord, check out the events, and click interested for both office hours and the Dam Challenge so you can tune into those streams as they happen throughout the week. Thank you again, everyone, for being here. Again, my name is Mac, the community manager for Dungeon Alchemist. Dungeon Alchemist is a map-making tool available on Steam. We have a free demo that you can try it out before you buy it, allowing you to test drive it on your computer to make sure it runs there and is worth your investment, both time and money. Other than that, thank you, everyone, for tuning in. We'll see you next time. I give a damn. Mac out. We're going to run a quick Dungeon Alchemist themed ad and wrap up the stream. We'll see you later, everyone. Mac out. Bye. Bye.
But can it handle curves?
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 Dungeon Alchemist, the AI-powered map-making application for role-playing games, now comes with both round and diagonal walls. Create amazing professional maps for your players in seconds. Get it now on the Steam store.
All right, thank you for tuning in, everyone. Hope you enjoy your day. See you next time. I give a damn. Mac out. Bye. See you later.